Morning, everyone. The divine play. Let's start with the salutations. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityarma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. With the prayers for protection for each and every one, those who have taken time off to participate, and to every one of their family and members and the dear and the close loved ones, and to protect those who could not for whatever the reason. May we all be awakened into the truth of this universe of the Brahman. Be awakened to the light to enrich our life with success, with peace, happiness, and joy. Where prayers we start with Paramahansa Yogananda, beloved Gurudev, Sri Yukteswar Giri Lahari Mahasaya, Karma Yogi, Swami Sri Vivekananda, beloved Gurudev, Holy Mother Sri Shardama, and Paramahansa Ramakrishna, Gurus of all the religion, gods and goddesses. May we be blessed and attain great heights of knowledge by the end of this life, starting with this session and the previous ones. Welcome to you all, and nice to see you. So let us start straight away. We have done a little bit of sessions on the Bhakti Yoga and then Karma Yoga, and now we are getting into the Karma Yoga, the session that you had, the preliminary, more and more details of these yogas, so that we understand what exactly are the purpose and what are the methodologies and how do we proceed with it. So let us start sharing with you the sessions. See, we talk about yoga. Yoga chitta vritti duksha nirodha. Yoga is to remove the confusion, the suffering, and the turbulence of the mind, the vritti, which is keeping our mind scattered. So we got 4 ways of going ahead with it. Shankaracharya, you'll be quite amused to know, he places the Karma Yoga almost not there. He talks about Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga is in the supreme, and Raja Yoga with the process. Karma Yoga is there, but as per Shankaracharya, plays lesser priority. Vivekananda goes ahead and says, do all 4 yogas, all of them, or one of them, or every one of them together by bringing a balance. So we are going to understand it and formulate which process and which way should we proceed for ours. So we had done the Bhakti Yoga. Generally, as we proceed today, let us go ahead. The parts of yoga, as you have seen, the way of spiritualizing one's life is by knowing. And the problems of life, automatically, if we know what are the problems and if we take corrective actions, they go away. Duksha Nivriti, Ananda Prapti, attain oneness. We don't want suffering. Nobody wants. Even the dog doesn't want to suffer. But look at it, our life today. We are suffering away. The Karma Yoga is the way of the work. In terms of the Bhakti Yoga, the way of love and devotion. In terms of the Raja Yoga, reduce the scattering of the mind, and through focusing, meditation. And the way of Jnana Yoga, we are suffering. Why? Because we are ignorant. So the answer is knowledge. So, as per our gurus, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Babaji, Yukteswar Giri, Lahari Mahasaya, Swami Sri Vivekananda, Divine Mother, Holy Mother, Paramahamsa Ramakrishna. Practice everything, all of them by your personal choices. Supposing you have some of the particular way that you are keen to more, there is no limitation, go ahead. But the beauty thing is that if you bring a balance, then naturally the journey is balanced. And whenever there is doubt, you go ahead and ask the question. So there are paradigms, the way. Those ways we're talking about, let's say, from Karma Yoga. The problem, what is the Karma Yoga problem? Is selfishness. How does it come? See, right from, I was sharing with you the other day, those of you who were not present, there were two beautiful incidents happened. And this is a doctor, an oncologist. He is writing an email. And he's saying, I can identify every part, every cell of the human body. And he says, I was looking at my own human body, my own body. I could identify every one of them. But I had this question suddenly to my mind, and that's why I'm writing this letter. He's writing it to Swami Sri Sarvakriyananda, who in turn is sharing. I happen to be monitoring it. He says, which part of this body, the various, is me? I'm the one who's experiencing the hunger, the love, the thirst, the pain. Which part of it is? If this is the body, is the mistake. Body is going to go and die away. Body is going to go on to the sleep. But you know, I was unconscious, I was in deep sleep, I'm in pain. Which is that part which is me? There another incident happened. There was this little girl, 17 months old, traveling. And the mother, very interestingly, was teaching the child various objects. That is an aeroplane, this is a puppy bear, and that is a dog. And Gloria was pointing it out to Swamiji, who was sitting next door, that look, couldn't speak, 17 months, was babbling, but could point out. And the moment mother showed in the mobile the picture of Gloria's picture was taken. And she said, and who is this? Now, instead of Gloria saying, like earlier, what was she saying? That is an aeroplane. She was showing meaning, pointing out, that is a papa bear, that is a mommy bear, this is a polar bear, this is a dog. She could have said, this is Gloria. Think, she didn't say, this is Gloria. She said, I am Gloria. And this is how we are growing up. Where does the selfishness come from? You will say, I know many people who are not selfish. I'm not selfish. No, if you'll come in to understand this, that's a wrong impression. The moment we are not selfish, You're a true karma yogi and you're Buddha, you're Jesus Christ. This selfishness is what? Just think, I oriented myself with this body. And the moment I oriented myself this body, I automatically say, this is me. And I like to make this me happy. So what do? I feed it. I make all efforts to please it, to make it listen to those special songs, see things beautiful, touch things which I desire. I'm feeding it, trying to make this one happy. And that's called selfishness. Why this one happy? This one. Why? Because why? This is me. Naturally, I like to do things for myself. I earn money for me and my family and my other needs. I clothe this me. That's my body. I feed this me. I make it listen to this me. I need to go around. And this moment from selfishness to unselfishness is the journey of Karma Yoga. From selfishness to unselfishness. The moment we go ahead and work for others, and the great master, the saying, Swami Vivekananda particularly, sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. The moment you're sacrificing, you do it. I know you are the mother, you're the father, you're the sons and the daughters, you are sacrificing. But to more extent than you truly become, you may follow karma. And we will touch upon it a little later, a little more in detail. But you may be doing karma, good Samaritan act. But are we being karma yogi? What is the difference? Is Nivriti and Pravriti. We shall get into it a little later. So this unselfishness is the solution. And unselfishness by karma yoga. So we have Bhakti Yoga paradigm. I love things, so I go ahead and get it for myself. But when I love things and I get it for myself, it's being selfish. But when I love things and I give it to God, and that's why we often talk about offer everything to God before you reflect yourself for grabbing it, taking it, using it, eating it, wearing it. Offer everything, every part of the life. Offer it to God. You will see something strange happen. Even if you offer your suffering, your pain, or your joy and ananda, you'll find there is a detachment comes in from within. The detachment is from that pain, from that joy. And you would say a beautiful song in Bengali, Tomar kaj tumi karo ma, loki bole ami kori. It means you are mother doing your work on this universe. And people think and people say, I am the one who is doing it. I'm not the one. And the moment we align ourselves with that, I am not the one. So notice, you know, there must be a very good reason for anything which is happening. And this is going into, most people say, oh, that is my karma. That is my karma phala. But there is a way to change that, is the purpose for our going ahead and discussing this. So, desiring for objects, craving for objects create problems. But you will be amazed to see, there was an incident, in the Himalayas, you have, once in a while, every day there is bhog centers. All the sadhus and sannyasis go there and they get their basic meal once a day. Generally, it is in the midday. And sometimes they get little milk in the evening time. So, head of the monk of the ashrama told everybody, come on, go down, get your meals and come. And that day was a feast day. And on that feast, they had made malpua. It's supposed to be delicacy. And monks have a nice saying. They say in Himalayas, at the monk, they have to bake their food. But in this Seva Kendras, it has been made easy for them so that they can, in Himachal, it's called Devalaya. Tapliyal sir is from that area. It's a place of gods and goddesses. So they say, Kabhi muthi bhar chana. You get one fistful of chana for your lunch. Kabhi ghee ghana, meaning filled with rich food, cooked with a lot of ghee. Kabhi wo bhi mana. Sometimes even that is not there. So these beautiful Seva Kendras are doing great work. It is organized by some great people, some individuals, some ashramas, some state governments are doing it towards the welfare. So this Malpua session was on, and the monk head, he had not gone. And when the disciples came back, and so the Guru asked them, so, kitna Malpua khaya? So somebody said 1, somebody said 3. Somebody said, Gurudev, you didn't come. Gurudev said, I don't go there. Food comes to me. And he goes ahead and says exactly that amount of food will come to me. It is like if you get a letter from someone, your brahmacharis or some devotees is signing a letter, it has got name written on it. And the postman will find exactly and come and deliver it to the right person. Just like that. Every particle of the food, the name is written. It will come to me. This is the beautiful understanding with which he said, I don't go to the food comes to me. And as you proceed in this beautiful journey of Vedanta with Kriya Yoga with Vedanta, balancing all the 4 yogas and proceeding it and embrace it with all your love, you may not understand quite a bit of it. Like I did not understand quite a bit of it in the beginning. I challenged it. I was asking questions. But I said, there must be something. Why thousands of years, the rishis, the monk, and Paramahamsa Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Holy Mother, and Jesus Christ came all the way to India to learn these Upanishads, and why Paramahamsa Yogananda, Yukteswar Giri, Larimasai, why Babaji brought all this knowledge together. And Babaji's mission to Paramahamsa Yogananda was East and West must both together. The Western external life must marry and embrace the Eastern philosophy of within. In the West, you go out and grab things. You're supposed to be getting, doer. In Eastern philosophy, though today in the modern world, we all are becoming highly westernized. We have to go down and do it. In the Eastern philosophy says, it will come to you. But it doesn't mean I lie down and sleep and everything will happen. No, you have to continue to work. And that's where the essence of the Karma Yoga, we are coming into it. So we going into the solution for the desire, focus it onto God. Send it to God. And the moment you will find, instead of I want this, I want that, I want God. I was grabbing it for myself and my husband and my wife and my children and my family. Now I send it to you, whatever you believe, Divine Mother, Krishna, Gopala, I send it to him. And you will see this sending it is before I take it for myself, I offer it. When you start to do that, you will find there is never a shortage. There is once a new mission was being formed, Ramakrishna Mission in Madras. And it was in the beginning, there was nothing, there was a little hut. And the monk who was the head, he prayed to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa at night. If you don't provide tomorrow morning some flowers and fruits to offer to you, I have to go out and get some earth and offer it to you. And can you believe in the morning when he got up and he found in front of the hut, there was a nice chubri, the cane baskets filled with fruits and various commodities and rice and all. Some kind Samaritan has come and left it there behind. There are so many incidences. Paramahamsa Yogananda sitting in LA on the beach with 5 of his devotees. And they all said, Gurudev, we feel like eating some Scotch bread. And there was a bread shop. They could see about 50, 60 yards ahead. So Gurudev smiled and Paramahamsa Yogananda said, go ahead and buy them. So they go there and the lady says, I have only 2 Scotch bread and somebody has called me and already booked it. I can't give it to you. I would love to give it, but I can't. So they came out and I told Paramahamsa Yogananda, Gurudev, there are only 2 left. And they said it's already booked. The Paramahamsa Yogananda is explaining. Please read autobiography, it is given there. He says, I looked up at the sky, I closed my eyes within, and I said, what is this, Divine Mother? Divine Mother, you are the giver. You always give. How come? They just want a little Scotch bread. And he says, as I opened my eyes, I know it is going to happen. He found a ray of light coming and striking that hut. And that lady who was the owner came out and was shaking hands. So Paramahamsa Yogananda Gurudev said, go down and see what she's saying. And as they go, he said, I just got a call. She doesn't want 2, she wants only 1. So I can sell you 1. See how it would happen. It will always happen. But it is not, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to get $1 million. Not like that. You work sincerely with honesty and with purity. In the Raja Yoga paradigm, Bhakti Yoga, offer it to everything. Raja Yoga paradigm, this world is creating so much of trouble and scattering, and because of which my thoughts are continuously being bombarded. I can't sit still. So focus your mind through the breath. Breath, Sansi Hanuman hai. Ancient rishis found out. The mind is very fickle, but mind can be controlled by a thread, which with like you fly a kite, the thread is the breath. If you control the breath, that in turn will control the mind. Direct example, when you're peaceful, when you're holding a baby in your hand, your baby, somebody else's baby, you're laughingly looking at the baby and talking to the baby, you will notice your heartbeat, your breath, both are very calm. Hardly breathing. When you're peaceful and happy, let's say you're sitting with your Gurudev or with your mother, or with your father, or someone you love very much, holding hands and sitting, you'll find you're very calm and peaceful, hardly breathing. On the other, you get angry, jealous, greedy, or excitement through whatever means and physical activity, sporting activity, or breathing. Mind is also disturbed. So Raja Yoga says, go ahead and focus it. In the Jnana Yoga paradigm, Ignorance is the reason. We do not know who we really are, and knowledge is the answer. So these are the three paradigms with which. Why Karma Yoga? As I was telling you, we will go through little details of the understanding of Shankaracharya vis-a-vis Vivekananda. Now, in the Karma Yoga, this is, we think, just one. I love to work for people. I will do only Karma Yoga. It is not so. It should be the balance of all of them, in which you're going ahead, you're meditating, you're living with purity, you are devoted to Gurudevas. If you don't believe in God, you believe in your own self, the supreme Brahman, cosmic energy, whichever way, and hold on to that philosophy and with which you proceed. Today, work is very important. Everybody has to work to earn money. But when you're doing it as I am doing it for God, it is like the Pandit in the temple. He's serving, he's doing the puja, and he's got one eye is open, a little crooked Pandit, and he's saying, how much is the collection? And he's thinking, I have to pay for my son's education. I have to put a new roof on my hut. And now I think today we got a lot of visitors, a lot of people on the line, I will get enough money. Now, he's serving, all right, he's doing bhakti, yes, but his ultimate motive is that I'm going to use it for that greed of mine or that need of mine. So work is a paradigm with which you have to do, but in the Karma Yoga, you're devoting it in the spiritual life. So secular life and spiritual life. Secular, your own individual needs, and the spiritual. The beauty is when you marry the two with sacrifice, 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 and with dedicated time and hours of practice, you see those things come to you. Your name will be written on that particular. Understanding it and believing it. You may not understand it first. You will say, will it happen really? Let me try it. It may not happen one day, 2 days, but as you proceed and as the faith deepens, and this faith deepens with the Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, knowledge deepens. Karma Yoga, if I have done this, action will opposite equal reaction. And Raja Yoga, once I calm down and focus my mind, how can it not happen? It will, because I am directly in touch with that consciousness, which creates this desert, the mountain, the rainforest, the baby, everything in this world, the dog, the dolphin, everything in this world is created by that consciousness and existence. Coming into the existence, coming in as a computer, as me, as my friend, as my partner. How can it not happen? So with this, you proceed with the journey of, I may not understand it now, but it's going to happen. Because that supreme power is, as per devotion, it is out there. As per Bhakti Yoga, you will come to realize it, have faith now, and you will see it later, most probably after we die. Whereas when you bring the balance of all four yogas, you say, I have faith, I serve. What is supposed to come to me will come to me. I will work with ethical means. What is a business school? Business school teaches you certainly how to make your business profitable. Success will come, but not by cheating. You have to follow certain ethics. And those ethics is the BB school, business schools, which we go ahead and give it. So spirituality will take us from distinction between secular and the spiritual life and yet merge them as one. What kind of work is the spiritual work? There is a definition of the karma. Karma is work. Now, all work is like, let's say a machine is working, a motion. This earth is moving, planets are, the river is, and you say there is work. Now, in the work, there are certain first definitions. It has to be, work has to be, you can call it work when it is done by a living being. Only when it is done by a living being, it is called a work. Second is the consistency and the continuity of the work will be called kartitva. That means there has to be a consistency in that work. The third is the result. There has to be a result to that work. And this definitive result is enjoying the benefits of the result. That is enjoying. It is also can be suffering. The karma phala, which you keep talking about, it can be good, good, good. It could be bad, bad, bad. The Swami Vivekananda saying, good, good, bad, bad. And he goes on to say, not a single blow is unjustified that you and I face. In other words, we are responsible for that work. In which proceed, if you go ahead and beyond comprehension, things will start to happen. Comprehension happens with knowledge, with our logical means, and it's limited. When you get in touch with your own supreme or the supreme of the consciousness, then you will certainly say, realize beyond something things are happening. Dayamata had terrible face infection, filled with marks and infection. And when she attained Paramahansa Yogananda's first lecture in Boston, and after attainment, she came with her mother to meet Paramahansa Yogananda. Paramahansa Yogananda generally has not done miraculous displays, very rare. So hasn't Paramahansa Ramakrishna or Vivekananda, very rare. Once in a while there are things. Paramahansa Yogananda asked her, you must be very embarrassed with those marks in your face. So she quietly didn't say anything, she just looked down. Paramahansa Yogananda asked her, do you believe? What notice? Do you believe? Just exactly Jesus Christ had asked those. Do you believe that I can heal you? And Dayamata nodded her head. She was a very shy, silent girl. And Paramahansa Yogananda says, as thy belief goes, may that happen to thee. And she was cured, totally. Never for the infection to ever return. The goes into the distinctive results and goes ahead beyond disposition. The fourth, they're talking about there has to be an obligation. That is, the karma has to have a moral obligation. It must be done ethically. And that moral obligation, let's say a baby is doing something. Baby is not understanding good or bad. Or sometimes some people are forced to. If you don't go down and rob that bank, you watch this film, I'm going to kill your wife and children. It's forced to do it. There is no moral obligation. It is just by the fear and domination. Or an animal. When the animals do something, you don't go and call the police. Animal is doing this. So the moral obligation is you and I, we need to have that moral obligation. With that, there has to be a definition of the morality, of the right things to be done. Traffic light could be jumped. Income tax may not be paid, or I try to dissuade. When you try to do that, or if you try to, I often say, we talk to the parents, please be always absolutely, don't tell one single lie, even in a joke. And I find those people, parents and teachers who are living that, They have all their meaning. There's always a smile, there's always a faith, and there's always a sincere way of getting much, much more. You get so much more, you want to give it away to other people. Whether it is spiritual attainment, whether it is psychological, whether it is behavioral, financial, bodily, joy, happiness, ananda, everything comes in. So that is the law of karma. Swami Vivekananda going ahead and saying, good, good, bad, bad, all follows the law. The fifth part of it is called, there is a karmic result. One is bhoga phala, one is karmic result. There will be a cosmic result onto this. Automatically it will come in. Once you know this, your good work, you will attain good thing. Bad work, you will get bad thing. But it's the cosmic reaction which is bringing the result. You need to be aware that there has to be experiencing the root of the work. Coming in, so the points summarizing, it has to be done by a living being. There has to be somebody who is doing it, an agency. It cannot be something like a machine or there is movement and you say that the work is being done. No, just understanding them. There has to be also suffering or result-oriented enjoyment. There has to be a moral dimension to the work that you're doing. You have to keep all these things in your mind. There has to be a cosmic result. So, like, in the Greek statement, they used to have, and this is being talked about Fushwa, who's talking about the Greek things. He's saying they had a beautiful system that you have to tell the truth. And tell the truth, it doesn't mean that the sun rises in the east. It is the universal truth. He said, no, that is not it. Truth is something which if you speak, it might embarrass you in the public, but it is the truth. If you can say that, you know that you're attaining truth. There is a beautiful statement by Paramahamsa Ramakrishna. He used to say in Bengali that those in Bengali used to say, Jelo pot pot kore bole dite pare, nijer dosh ki. The one who can say just like that, what is their fault? No, they have a great spiritual dimension. And this is the truth. Realizing it, correcting it, doing it. Going ahead. In the talked about Pravriti and Nivriti. We have lots of very good people, Samaritan, very good workers. Often you will see that people put up a big hoarding and say, a departed soul who has created a big kind of a tycoon of a business person, made lots of money, given a lot of job, created a lot of hospitals, a lot of destitute centers for taking care of them. And people say he was a great karma yogi. Now they understand this, that in the Pravriti, it is karma, not karma yoga. It is doing the work, good work, pure work, with purity. You're doing everything, but it is not yoga. The karma becomes yoga because why? Pravriti is going outwards, it's going outside. Nivriti is bringing it inside. When outside, I'm not going anymore. So what happened to Buddha? he was going to be the greatest of the king. And he told his father, Siddhartha, I am renouncing all that. And he went inwards. So in the journey of the Karma Yoga, you and I, in our day-to-day life, we have to do those good work around seeing, remember, all the waves, all the oceanic existence is because of the water. All the gold ornament with the Tiffany or Tanishq or PNG, it is because of gold. So you see gold in every, you see water in every. So being in the samsara, being in the family, you see that consciousness in each. Call that consciousness God, my Gopala, my Krishna, my Divine Mother. Call it by Allah, God, whatever name you feel in your own mind. Be careful. When you tell a youngster, you are my Gopala, I'm going to do with it, sometimes they will take advantage of it. So you keep that silent, but make it sure that they realize that there is someone who really understands me, respects me, and wants the betterment for me. Automatically, they will feel like being with you, coming into under the shelter of your tree. You're the tree, under that shade, and we come down to be peaceful, calming, and finding themselves who they really are. They will discover themselves, that potential, that secret, the giant within. Discovering those when you're doing it in the samsara, in the family. At the same time, not limiting only to me and my family and my son and my wife, my husband, also spread it to everybody. First, charity begins at home, and then going ahead and spreading it. Lots of people are doing it. Also, finding times towards Nivriti, coming inside. Shankaracharya, in his definition, he talked about this in this Karma Yoga, was a lesser preference. He talked about Jnana Yoga as number one, and then Bhakti Yoga. You will be amazed to hear Shankaracharya has written great hymns, and he's one of the greatest of the Advaitavadi. Ramana Maharshi once was asked, who is the one who can say that this world is real? This world is real. You and I say, this world is real. I can see it, I can touch it. Come on. It is, we say all this consciousness and things like that, and existence, consciousness, bliss. But come on, let's face the fact, this is the world. This is what we say. Ramana Maharshi said, no, no, no. It is the one who has realized the world, that is, attained moksha, attained nirvana. They're the one who can say this world is real. How? This world, it doesn't mean this matter, but they're the ones who have realized, I am water, I'm not a wave, but I'm playing the role of the wave. I'm playing the role of the ocean, or the water vapor, or the moisture, or the river, or the puddle. So there is one, used to be one mad kind of a yogi who had come down to live in Dakshineshwar Mandir. And it is there written down by Master M in Kathamrit. So one day Paramahamsa Ramakrishna told Hriday, you see that guy? He's a great realized master, great yogi. And that guy used to be always inside his room, always meditating. And once in a rare while, he'll come out. So some of you have read this. One day there was a big rain and thunderstorm, and he comes out and he starts dancing, and he said, Are wah, are wah. So again, Ramakrishna told Hriday, he is a great yogi. So Hriday wanted to get something from him. He realized, Master, he forgot he has it in his own house, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. But anyway, he goes down and goes and tells him, please teach me something, teach me something. And this yogi who never used to do all that. He used to stay by himself. He used to show away. He will throw stones at people to get them away from him. Didn't want any exhibition. But Hridaya didn't give up. He kept on following him. And then as he was traveling through the road, and Dakshineshwar temple, if you've been there, there a little puddle of water joins in. He said, please tell me, sir, how do I realize God? So then this man shows a dirty puddle of water. He said, can you see this water? When you can discriminate none from this puddle and that river Ganga, Ganga is flowing right next to the temple, those of you been. When you see no difference between this puddle and that water, no, you have realized. And this is what is, you start with the people around you, your husband, your wife, your children, your parent, your servant, maidservant, your dogs, and those animate objects, and along with the outsiders. Always see the divine expression, and people call it, as per Bhakti Yoga Leela, it's being paid. There's a beautiful statement comes to my mind. Hanumanji was asked by Rama, I often talk to you all about it. It keeps coming to me again and again. This is what we need to realize. Rama asked Hanumanji, how do you see me? What is my relationship with you? And Hanumanji, the greatest of the bhakta ever known to most of us, Hanumanji said, Deha buddheya dasoham. When I think I am this body, I'm your servant, Lord. He said, Jiva buddheya tadam sakha. When I think I am this body and a name and a form, the mind, the maya, with the consciousness, I am this jiva. Ishvara, as per Vedanta, is the entirety of the maya, is the entirety of the consciousness, which is no limit, is Ishvara. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, Taittiriya Upanishad. But limited maya and limited consciousness, when it makes the body with a name and form, what is Maya doing? Maya is coming into the play to bring this world into so-called reality. Originally, Ekoham, I was one. And then I wanted to be Bahushava. Remember Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna. So first it was only one, there was nothing. How did it become one? Maya, Prakriti, and Kashmiri Shaivism talks about Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti brings in through the Maya and gives what? Name, Roop, Nama, Rupa, Bhavahara. Name, form, and action, function. So Hanumanji is saying, when I look at myself as Jiva, I am your friend. I'm your friend. Atma Buddhya Tvameva Aham. When I look at myself as the supreme consciousness, supreme spirit, there is no difference between you and I. We are one. And Nishchita Buddhi, he goes on and says, this is what is the truth. So this is what you and I, when we start to see that consciousness and the existence in everyone, and whatever we do and touch is the purpose of the all four yoga that we take along. So, Pravriti and Nivriti. Nivriti also, Pravriti also, we are doing it in the Kriya Yoga. So you have great examples. Bapu Gandhi, you have Nelson Mandela, you have Vinoba Bhave, you have Mother Teresa. So when you see such examples all around, you know that they had brought this life. In terms of the spiritual practice, in the spiritual practices, we need to know what is the problem and what the solution, and what the method. So ignorance and Jnana Yoga as per Shankaracharya. So what is the thing? Knowledge. I'm ignorant of German, I have to learn German. And the method is Jnana Yoga. In the scattered mind, can't sit still. Why? Impurity of mind. Impurities. All the time is poking. So my body is restless, mind is restless. So focusing through the breathing, through the meditation called Raja Yoga. And then comes the impurity of the mind towards the Chittamala, which is the Sanskrit word, and the understanding it, bringing it to it is purity of mind, is Chitta Suddhi by Karma Yoga. So these are the three simple ways of doing our actions. In terms of going ahead and in the Vivekananda's perspective, it's something beautiful. Vivekananda is saying, by not one, but more, or all of them, or only one. Believe in that and proceed. But he goes on to again and again advocates, you may make mistakes by only following one. So when you follow all of them, so what are we doing? We are practicing Kriya Yoga, Raja Yoga. We are practicing our belief and faith in our Gurudevas and Babaji, Krishna, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Divine Mother, Bhakti Yoga. So Ramanujam Sankhya Yoga is coming in here. And we are doing our good actions and the karma and the studies through the Jnana Yoga, understanding the Vedanta. So comparing, this is how the birth of the concept came through the meditation to me. Combine the two and just think, thousands of years rich heritage. All over the world, everybody is studying Vedanta. And you and I sitting by saying, I don't understand it. Oh, those thick books. No, they're not difficult. All we have to do is to make up our mind and start little bit, few lines a day, understand. What is it, Jnana Yoga? Shravanam, listen carefully. You should be able to repeat what you have heard. Mananam, reflect on it, ask questions. Very important to ask questions. There are many people who are shy to ask questions, but your question may be the one they have in their mind. And Nididhyasanam, when you find the answer, analyze it, challenge it, and meditate on it. We don't have to go ahead and shift from here to there to there. It is like changing friends. It is like trying to drink a bowl of soup with 4-6 spoons. I don't need, one is enough. And that one process, mind you, Vedanta doesn't come to anyone just like that. Vedanta is the supreme grace of the Paramarthik into Bhavaharthik, has come into you and me from the supreme consciousness. Call it Brahman, Divine Mother, Krishna, Babaji, our Gurudevas has brought it for us. We should embrace it, make the effort. May not understand. You say, I didn't understand this maths problem, but I know professor is right, book is right. I'm going to work at it till I understand it. I'm not going to give up. And once you do this, you follow the beautiful process. Shankaracharya goes ahead and tells, this life is not real. Jagat Mithya Brahma Satyam. So he says, after all, that is a snake. Snake is not real. Rope is real. So, no, Jagat is Mithya and Brahma is Satyam. So don't follow the Jagat. Yes, Shankaracharya is not saying that don't work at all, but he's saying, know it in the Jnana Yoga, practice with the Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga is a little lesser priority, and practice Raja Yoga. Those of you who have gone with our systems earlier on, the huge process of Shankaracharya's process of the Raja Yoga practices. How do we do that? Aparokshanaviti, we have gone through complete beginning to end. we shall again try again later on, maybe. And going ahead, Vivekananda is saying there are two ways to understand it. One is, say, Jagat is Mithya, Brahma is Satyam. This is Shankaracharya. Snake is false, rope is real. Vivekananda has got a beautiful perspective. I love it. Vivekananda is saying, after all, that false snake is what? Where did it come from? If the rope wasn't there, would the snake come? No. If the desert isn't there, will the mirage come? Yes. Not one drop of the water in the mirage can wet the sand of the desert. That is true. But the mirage has come because of the desert. Snake has come because of the rope. So what is the meaning of Vivekananda? See God in everything, including in the false, including in the good, including in the bad people, including in the good people. Supposing some bad people, so-called bad behavioral action, they are not bad. They have the goodness, the Brahma is within them. But maybe right now they're in a different platform and creating trouble for you. Please pray for them to heal them. You may also say, Divine Mother, God, Babaji, Krishna, Gurudeva, please awaken in this person the right consciousness, Chittamala. Make it the right thinking, come into it. But please keep them away from me so that it doesn't disturb me. You want to meditate and they want to go down and do dug, and maybe making something. Keep it away from me. I want to spend this time in understanding all of them. And this is what is Vivekananda is going and it's saying, snake is knowing an aberration of the rope itself. So do not throw away any one of the thing and practice with all of them. This is the difference between the Shankaracharya and Vivekananda. Shankaracharya goes one step ahead to saying that the world is not real. The Brahma, Satyam, Vivekananda is saying, what is that world? Is also representation of the Brahman itself. Who's created the world? The Prakriti and the Purusha have created that world. The Brahman alone is the truth, is the Vivekananda. And Ravana Maharshi go that tells the world is real can be spoken by only them. Who knows, I am the wave, but I'm actually not the wave, I'm just the water. I'm just the consciousness. I am playing this role of the family person, of the wife, of the husband, of the mother and the son, of the father and the daughter. I need to play this role with detachment, with purity, with no selfless action, and yet protecting the process. Shiva Jnana, Jiva Seva. This is what Paramahansa Ramakrishna started off. You and I, we do worship on the Shiva Ling and the Shiva statue. He said, look at Shiva in everyone. Shiva is there in everyone. And once we look at this, the Brahma Satyam would come in every part of the life. So, to end it with our sessions today, paradigms are different, but they're all leading to the path of bhakti, path of karma, path of raja, path of jnana. Combine all four of them and take them to that beautiful. There are effects of karma. There is one immediate effect. I feed the poor person, immediate effect. His hunger is fulfilled by getting some food in his stomach. And the certain other effect is the psychological effect. I've fed the food. I feel good. I feel peaceful. I feel happy. I feel complete. And then comes the karma phala. Whatever I do, shubh shubh bolo, shubh shubh karo. Why did our great ancient masters and the yogis talked about it? Bring a balance and know every action of mine Science says opposite and equal reaction. That is what the karma phala means. But this karma phala is coming from the action, but spiritually, cosmic laws. And to the cosmic laws, dharma and adharma. So, adharma will lead to papa, dharma will lead to good effort, good result. So, practice, you're seeing that in terms of Vedanta, understanding it today, I have no doubt whatsoever. If you try to explain the entire Vedanta, reflect our earlier sessions, one sentence, if you want to tell the entire Vedanta, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. We have to realize that. That's the journey. If you want to say it, realize it in 2 sentences and remove all the suffering. What is it? Duksha Nivriti Ananda Prapti. How do we do that? Very simple. Remove separatism, separation. I am different. This body, name, and form is me. Remove the separation. I am the water in this wave, but the water is in every other wave in the whole entirety of the ocean of this universe. So bring in oneness. So if you and I can practice that oneness in your breathing and meditation, as you breathe in, very simple process of the Hamsa Yoga, or you're going ahead and doing Omkar meditation and going ahead for the Kriya Yoga. When you're breathing in, the initial stages of this breathing in, breathe in all the harmony of the world, breathe in those strength, the purity that you would like. And as you breathe out all the junk from you, starting with mithya, no falsities. Second, alasya. In the morning, if you are the 3:15, 3:30 ring is going and you think 5 minutes more, your alasya has already caught you. Don't worry, it's going to be 4:15 or 4:30 or 5 o'clock. So what? Don't let it come in. And pray during the meditation. Breathe it out. Lethargy should be thrown out of me. And then impurities of mind, please, Divine Mother, God, my Guru, throw it out of my system. Impurity, you're throwing it out. So what is it? Falsity, lies. Second, the impurities of the mind. Third, discrimination, duality. By I am not separate from you and you and you and every one of us are one. I am there with this name, group, and form. I have to do my work, my action, my purity. I have to fulfill those chores, but all the time keeping in mind that whatever I see, whatever I do, there's a beautiful story of Holy Mother Sharada with Vedanta. There's a book, and in that book, there is one sweeper who's sweeping the ashrama floors. And then she, after sweeping it, you know how the people, they just throw that broomstick along with the stick, long pole, they just dump it in the corner. And mother says, come here, my child. You're throwing away that? He said, yeah. The maidservant said, the worker said, that's only a broomstick. She said, no, see God in that too. Now, this is where when you start to see, you will see it's not the broomstick, it's not your used clothes, it's not just Shivaling, it's not the statue, it's in everything. Going ahead, so beyond name and form is Atman, and understanding this through all 4 yogas, establishing it firmly. We shall go on to more onto the levels. There are, by the way, 3 levels of karma. Karma phala. Phala in which I'm doing phala tyaga. Whatever I'm doing a good work, so I'm supposed to be getting good result. But if I do it with that thing in my mind, then I'm not a karma yogi. I'm doing the result. But the result is yours, my Lord, not me. I'm not waiting for the good result to come. That is phala tyaga. Second comes karma tyaga. I'm doing the work, but this is not because it is me, because it has come to me. I'm doing it and the result goes away. And the last is kartitta tyaga. The doership also, I'm renouncing it. I'm doing the work because I've been placed to do it. Role of a father, mother, wife, husband. But remember, whatever you do with absolute focused mind and genuine love, genuine fondness. You can't say, I'm the water, they're also water, I'm detached myself, or don't disturb me, I'm going to go for the meditation. But if this is the time to the work, shift your meditation in such a manner that you follow the rule of the company, the samsara, the family, wherever you are. So, work is worship, in which first in the Bhakti Yoga, how do I go back? The first level, work and worship, both together. The second level, work, you're doing the work as worship. And then the third level is work is worship. Work for worship, work as worship, work is worship. You will find you will not be tired. You'll not be haggard. You will not say, oh, I've worked so hard. It's like playing cricket. However tired you are, husband comes back home, tired, exhausted, whole day. Today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. And wife said, bad day. And he said, oh, just don't ask me. I was really pushed. And suddenly a phone call comes. Friend calling, hey, we are missing the fourth partner for the bridge session. Come over, hop into my room. And goes immediately, Letaji is gone and tissue, I'm all full charged up. No, playing cricket. Grandma is also loving to play cricket. Everybody loves to play cricket. So when you play the whole life with that cricket, whole life is that this is what I want to, your face will be glowing. You'll not be tired. And you will see beautifully, since you're doing phala tyaga, somebody will make sure will come and do the work. You know, in Banaras, Kashi, we had gone to the Hanuman Mandir and Tulsidasa there in the first floor. There's a beautiful Tulsidasa paintings and the work and in Tulsidas Mandir. There we heard one beautiful story. You know, in his little hut, Tulsidas used to be visited by all the rich people. And they would come down and actually bring gifts and things like that. And some robbers, they used to watch. All the rich guys are coming. Those days, chariot will come and they will get down and carry some big bundle. So they say, let's go and rob Tulsidas. At night, these robbers, 4 or 5 of them, they go quietly and they see there are 2 young boys with the huge bow and arrow walking up and walking down in front of Tulsidas, guarding. And they say, okay, let us go away. We'll come back after half an hour, after 1 hour. They went 4, 5, 6 times. And every time they will find he is walking up and walking down and walking up and walking down. And they didn't know who are these young, great looking youth. They couldn't hold it. The robbers, Tulsidas was famous for forgiving everyone. They go to Tulsidas and said, sir, we want to share with you. We actually came to rob you yesterday, last night. But we found this too. Somebody walking up and down. And Tulsidas starts crying. He says, just because of this wealth, I troubled my Lord Rama and Lakshmana. Please take away all the wealth. So this is what happens. You say, people like you and me, we will say, oh, it happened only with Rama. Now, what stops you from being Vivekananda, Ramana Maharshi, or Paramahamsa, Jesus Christ, or Buddha? In the words of Vivekananda, be strong, be courageous, be bold. Take the weight of the entire universe on your shoulder and know that you can make it happen, make it come true. And this believing, understanding, and working ahead is the purpose of our spiritual journey. Otherwise, we are being fraud. We have to walk what we talk. I've finished with the day today. We're about 9 minutes past. Please ask if there are any questions. Any questions?
Good morning. I have one question.
Yes.
First of all, very good.
Is there anybody asking a question?
How from back from past life?
I'm sorry, I cannot make out. What are you saying? Could you speak with clarity, please?
How to transform back from past life?
Yeah. Something about past life? Yes.
Sir. How to transform back karma into good karma?
I am sorry, I'm not getting the question. Will somebody clarify it, please? I think her mic is creating little trouble. And anybody else? Yeah?
My question is how to transfer bad karma into good karma.
Is your question, does the past life affect the current life? Yes, of course. Yes, of course. The power of the spiritual world is, I can also give up and saying, why do the work? I didn't know anything what has happened in the past life. What did I do before or yesterday or day before or whenever the boy? I didn't understand all of them. So why do anything right now? Let it continue to happen that way. If that is a general platform, many people think, and they continue to let it happen. So what happens? We become animalistic. Animals are not bothered about their past life, though they are going to take the form. There's a beautiful story of Jada Bharata. In every ashram, every disciples are told this story when they become a monk. Jada Bharata was a great rishi about to be realized, attain his, the Brahma Tattva. And a deer which was shot by an arrow came down and fell at his feet. The Jada removed the arrow and healed the deer. And as the deer was growing up, it was by some prince, king, somebody had shot. And the deer grew up with him. He became very fond of the deer. To that extent that before he would eat, he will feed the deer will sleep with him and things like that. And it is said, he became so attached to the deer that he became a deer on his next birth instead of attaining enlightenment. So the answer to this is, what we need to do is to spiritualize our life in such a manner that whatever the past life actions which we have done, good things were happening. I should make it even better. If bad things are happening, this is why the spiritual 4 yogas, you can erase them by good action. It is like I'm doing withdrawal from the bank. But if I don't keep depositing, I cannot do withdrawal. Soon enough, the bank will have no money at all. So if you find some evil guy is enjoying a good life, good name and fame, it is only they are enjoying the past good karma that they had done and they're glorifying it. But very soon the current bad effect is going to catch up. How, when, but depends on people, their action. You and I, message for us from the great masters from Vedanta, that you and I have the power to erase our past action. And this is why great masters say that always do the right work, do the kind work, do the loving work, and automatically the bad effects tend to go away and they're erased. And second, you earn the grace of the Divine Mother, of God, of Krishna, of our Guru Devas, of Allah, Christ, whichever name you believe in form. The Paramahansa Ramakrishna is telling one beautiful story. You and I, in this river of life, are rowing the boat with hard work, struggle, and suffering. But all you and I need to do is raise the sail. When you raise the sail, Paramahansa Ramakrishna is saying, the divine grace, which is always there, it was there all the time when we were rowing also, but we didn't raise the sail. When you raise the sail, divine grace comes and takes you swiftly across to the destination. So, do the good work, erase the bad work. Everybody has got bad work, that's why we are living like this. But you will notice, you yourself, look at your reflection of the life. The current life that you're leading must be much better than past time when you had a tough time. That's why possibly you're getting connected to the life of Vedanta. So welcome to the group. Does that answer your question? Your mic is not very clear. I hope I have answered your question. Have I?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other doubts?
Jai Guru, Jayanti here.
Yeah, please.
We have learned that all our actions are, we are not doing the actions. It is a doer, somebody else. The Almighty is doing the actions. So what about the wrong actions which we do? So why doesn't God stop us from doing those wrong actions?
Yeah, very good question. You see, this has been troubling for thousands of years, great masters. This universe is created where you and I belong. Everything is created by twofold. One is Brahman, and second is you. You would say, but I don't remember me being discussed or consulted by God in creating. Look at carefully, your world is totally different than your brother, sisters, your husband, wife, your children. Why is it? Because your world is created by you and Ishvara. Ishvara and you. My world is different than my brother's world. And my world is different than 10 years ago than it is today. It is, and in Himalayas, they have a beautiful saying. In Hindi, they say, ईश्वर का दुनिया में, ईश्वर का पृथ्वी में, किसी को बुरा नहीं होने देते ईश्वर भला. He doesn't let any mischief, bad thing happens to in Ishwar's dunya. Then why are we suffering? It is because of our karma. So, answer in Vedanta is strict and no. Meaning, all the actions are being done by the Divine Mother, yes, but not the evil ones. Evil actions are not by the Divine Spirit. The evil things are done by you and me, our mind, our karma. And that gets mixed up. Because of the Maya, it gets mixed up with my world. And our journey is, a very good question, is to remove those evil things in being spiritualized. God is not creating the bad action, but the bad action is created by the action of God and the bad thing, which is called karma phala, that I have done. So, God does not own up to the bad thing. There's a beautiful story. It reminds me, there is this Brahman who had a beautiful garden. And he created it with money from the king, and wonderful garden. was very protected about it. He wouldn't let anything come in. One day, one cow came and ate up some very good flowery bush and the plants. And the Brahmin was so angry, he beat the cow with a stick and beat it, and the cow died. Now, as per the Shastras, the hands belong to Indra. You know, like every part of the body belongs to one of the god, gives it to you. So Brahman was shocked. My God, I've killed a cow. Go hatya. My God. And then he started saying, this is a Puranic story to give us the meaning of it, that, oh, this is not me. The hand did it. It wasn't me. So it is Indra's fault. Those days, Indra comes to know about it. The Indra comes as a simple visitor, like a Brahmin Pandit, and comes and enters the garden and says, who has created all this? And this Pandit comes up and says, I have done it all by my hard work. And Indra asks, what about this one? And what about that one? And what about this tree? And what about this bush? How did you create this beautiful rivulet through the garden? And he kept on saying, the Pandit kept on saying, I have done it, I have done it, I have done it. So Indra tells him, everything good is you have done it. And when it was bad, you suddenly blame Indra, is it? So this is a simple story to tell. Whatever things are happening, yes, Tomar kaj tumi karoma. Your work you're doing, mother. People take the credit by saying, I'm doing it. But remember, in this, there's a beautiful discrimination. The positive energy, if you call it, cannot create negative thing. Energy is energy. Energy can be transformed one to the other by our action. So we may utilize that energy to create an atom bomb or create an energy to create a great healing agency. So answer is, it is not discussionable. It is very simple. Every evil thing that happened to us, Vivekananda's word, not one blow that comes on your way is undeserved. We deserve them. What do we do now? Face it, face the monkey, and do the good thing to remove them.
Thank you.
Okay, let's finish it today. I pray to the Supreme Divinity, the Divine Mother of the Universe, the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Prakriti and Purusha, gods and goddesses of all religion, gurus, our beloved Guru Devas, and the gurus of all practices and religion, to hold our hand, to bless us, take us to the Supreme Kalpa Yogi Mahavatar Babaji, Krishna, Brahma, Vishnu Maheshwara, Divine Mother, to Brahman, to the Supreme Consciousness, Brahma Satyam, and make us understand this world is an appearance of our consciousness, of our existence. It is not real. It is our consciousness, our existence. May the supreme world of each one of you be protected. May no evil come on your way. May all be protected from suffering, sickness, lack of money, lack of perfect health, lack of perfect relationship. Harmony and joy should prevail with a beautiful Ananda. May you realize the supreme divinity within you and everywhere around you. Om Akasha Shanti, Prithvi Shanti, Vayu Shanti, Jalaspataya Shanti, Agnyaya Shanti, Go Shanti, Jalaspataya Shanti. Om Chittaha Shanti, Manaha Shanti, Uttaradesha Shanti, Dakshinaya Shanti, Purvaya Shanti, Paschimaya Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Guru.